So you guys know I'm a huge fan of the gray market. However, there are a lot of problems with the gray market, and specifically not around the watches. I definitely support buying watches on the gray market, especially if you can get them at a good price. It is the place to go. Save money, never pay retail. I always say this on my channel. I've been saying it from day one, and I always practice what I preach. I always buy in the gray market. I buy a lot on eBay, which is essentially a gray market dealer now, especially with their enhanced authentication process. So you're definitely getting some quality watches from eBay as well. Not so great if you're a seller. However, if you're a buyer, it's actually really good. But there are a lot of problems with the companies that are actually selling these watches. And I'm going to get right into it. One that really everyone hates is Hodinki. Hodinki has now become a gray market dealer. Originally, they sold new watches on their website. Then they started selling vintage watches, or it could have been vice versa, on their website. And they were always sort of dealing in watches, selling watches. Even though they were reviewing watches, they were selling those watches. And a lot of time, they would review a watch and then immediately have that watch for sale on their website, which I think is really shady practice. But now they actually have purchased Crown and Caliber. I don't know if you guys know this, but Crown and Caliber is now owned by Hodinki. They are a huge gray market dealer, and Hodinki now owns them. And what does this mean for the future of Hodinki? What does it mean for the future of the gray market with Hodinki actually reviewing watches that they can easily sell now on the gray market through all of the different channels that they have? It's pretty crazy. And another one that does this, and really probably the worst at it, I would say, is Watchbox. Watchbox was Govberg and Watch You Want. They actually came together and formed Watchbox. Watchbox is a very big dealer of gray market watches, and now they're getting into the game of actually buying brands. Recently, I think it was this week, they actually announced that they bought De Bethune. De Bethune are a very high-end sort of watch brand. They are a hyper watch, and now they are getting in the business of actually purchasing brands, and they do the same thing as Hodinki. However, they do it a little bit more sly, in my opinion. Tim Masso, who I'm a big fan of, knows so much about watches. He's really sort of a fountain of information about watches. However, he reviews tons of watches on their channels, on the channels that he has been a part of since the very beginning. He started out at Watch You Want, he went to Govberg, and now he does the reviews for Watchbox. So whenever you actually Google a watch, if you go on in the internet, if you go on YouTube, you're gonna see a review from Tim Masso, and 99%, 100% of those videos are not marked as sponsored content. Why is that? He's selling every single one of those watches. When I get a $100 watch in for a review and it is given to the channel, or if I'm given a strap from the channel, which is literally worth $20, I put the sponsored content tag on my video. But brands like this, Hodinki and Watch You Want, Watchbox, they are not doing this, and it's not okay. Another really big offender of this is actually a really great channel as well. It's Watchfinder Co. Watchfinder Co makes some amazing content. Every single watch that they have on their channel is for sale. There may be a few exceptions to that, but a majority of them are actually for sale on their website. They are actually also owned by Richemont. Richemont owned Panerai, IWC, Elang, a million other watch brands that they are selling through Watchfinder Co on the back end, on their gray market. And they are doing reviews of those exact watches on that Watchfinder channel. So again, why is Watchfinder not marking these as paid sponsorship? It's a really good question. I don't understand why. If you are actually selling a watch and you are reviewing it on your channel as if you are a reviewer and not someone who's actually selling this watch, you stand to make a lot more money through the sale of that watch than someone who is just doing a review of a watch that they've actually purchased. So if you look at my channel, or if you look at a lot of other channels on YouTube, many channels on here, they do add that sponsored content tag on a video where they've been given a watch. When you're given a watch, you're given a $200-$300 watch. We're not getting thousands of dollar watches. And then you can go and sell that watch, and yes, you can make a little bit of money off of the sale of that watch. However, the sale of a, let's say, a de Bethune or a Rolex or any other watch brand, one of these high-end watch brands, the sale from that, they make a lot more money. And you know that because they are making enough money to purchase entire watch brands. And that is insane. They're able to purchase Crown and Caliber for millions upon millions of dollars. They're able to purchase de Bethune for millions upon millions of dollars. They're making a lot of money on these sales, and the reason why is because when you're Googling a certain watch, you're finding a review that is not really a review, it's more of an advertisement, and you're not being notified of that. 99% of the people who are into watches will know that immediately because they already know these brands, they know that these gray market dealers are actually selling them. Some of them actually mention that they're for sale on their website. A really good version of this, I would say a good person in this whole sort of gray market, is Federico. Federico actually is very transparent about him selling his watches. When you get on there, there's no way that you know that he is not selling his watches. He tells you that they're for sale on his website. A lot of these other ones don't mention it, and that's kind of the problem with all of this. Timasso do as well. They mention that they are for sale, and that is fine, but there's a lot of other content that comes out of Watchbox that isn't mentioning that at all, and that's why I bring that up. But that's the case. Even Federico probably should be putting his little disclaimer on there, but he does a lot of other videos where he's not talking about the watches he's actually selling. And a lot of times he's complaining about watches, which is completely different. He does do a lot of that in the beginning of his videos, and then he moves on. But tell me what you guys think of this in the comments below. I know it's kind of a weird subject. It's not something that I normally talk about here on the channel. I love to talk about the gray market, but this is a little bit of a gray area in the gray market, if you will. And I just think it's kind of interesting that there's these brands out there that are actually selling and actually reviewing the same products. And I don't think that is really a good idea. But tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Please also don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel. I very much appreciate it. Please follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is WatchChrisBlog. I have some links in the description. Those links are to Amazon. If you click those links and buy anything, it helps support the channel. It doesn't cost you anything extra. However, I very much appreciate it. Anyway, thank you for logging on. I'll catch you guys in